Hello, subscribers. To those of you who haven't subscribed, stop watching. Okay, SEMA's over. Immediately following SEMA was Dino's and our open house. So those are both over. Open house was, I would say, a huge success. I think Frank would agree also. I don't know how many people were here, but the parking lot was packed from our shop all the way out to the street. So very overwhelming, but grateful and happy to have everybody here. And it was cool to show everybody what we do. Dino's was packed, is what Dino's was. Dino's was, I don't know. I don't even know how do you describe Dino's? It was overcrowded, but awesome at the same time. Yeah, Dino's was the first time we've done a booth pretty much anywhere. We've done little tiny ones, but that was, I mean, we had the setup that time. We had a new Easy Up out there and trailer out there. And what do we have? We had Brian's truck, Steven's truck, Brandon's truck, and Derek's truck were all out there. I really have no complaints other than lack of sleep, but taking care of that since then, and we're kind of back to work at the shop. But now everything is holiday, so today is, what's today, the 23rd, Christmas Eve, and we're here at the shop. I wanted to show you guys what we're working on. This is Aaron's 67 C10. We're doing a full roadster shop chassis on this one. It's a fast track chassis with the independent rear end. We're doing a Don Hardy, like 625 horse LS based engine in it. Magnum T56 6-speed manual transmission. These are just mock-up wheels that are on here. We're going to run pretty wide wheels front and rear on this. It's going to be, you know, it's set up on coilover, so it's going to be a little bit more of like an autocross style truck that he can still take his kid to school in. So it's going to have all the creature comforts, the Resto Mod Air, the Dakota digital gauges. Doing a bunch of rust repair on it right now. The rockers on these trucks are always kind of wasted, so kind of slowly moving along with it. We're going to do some different stuff on this one. We'll shave the drip rails. We're talking about maybe flushing the glass, but we'll see. Maybe shave drip rails will be enough. Continuing with the C10 theme that we have around the shop right now, we have Chazzaroni's 67 C10 also. This one's Porter-built drop members front and rear, 22 by 12 rear, so this is kind of the typical thing for us, setting on the ground on airbags. The engine's kind of a Frankenstein of an engine. It's a 4.8 block, but we changed it to a 5.3 crank and piston, so it'll be like a 5.3, but with the higher compression of the 4.8. About the biggest cam that J&R could put in it for us without having to go through valve springs and that type of thing. So this one will be pretty rowdy, pretty quick, but still laying on the ground. And you know, Chaz is going to paint this one himself, running all the Marcade trim. Waiting on the Marcade bed is kind of our next step right now, so that way we can get going on the gas tank and the exhaust. So this one's moving along a little slower than the others. But it makes for some good filler work for us while we're waiting on parts for other stuff. Since we only work on C10s here, supposedly, we have, this is Hector's 70 C10. Hector works here, I'm sure you've seen him. So he kind of leaves this thing here in my way all the time, doesn't pay any shop rent, doesn't pay anything to have this thing here, and it just kind of always gets in our way. But it should be super nice if he ever wants to work on it, but he skips working weekends. He stays late for like a half an hour every once in a while and works on it. He's been wiring it for like the last month and a half, and I think the fuse box is mounted. So we're really moving along quickly on this one. But see, subscribers will know this. If you go back and look, this is the one that we did the TMI interior in. So go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it. For everybody else, this is the Pio Mobile. This rather large project that's been here for a while is Michael's. This is, we don't even know what year this is. This is 47 to 53, somewhere in there. We're unsure because one door has a wing window on it, the other door doesn't. And that's kind of what differentiates the 47 to 53s, at least in my brain. But somehow we have two different doors. They're both patinaed, they're both green. Doing all Porter-built suspension, so front and rear drop members on this one. Got some 20-inch ADV1 wheels, which are super lightweight, super nice wheels. We've got an LS3 that was again built by J&R with a big gnarly supercharger cam in it, and a Magnuson supercharger. It's a 2300 with the cog drive on it. All-American build that made us their first pulley setup for this Camaro spaced supercharger. And what we did differently on this one is we shoved the engine back. So the engine is back about 3 or 4 inches in the chassis. Gives us a ton more room up here for the radiator, but it also kind of scoots some weight back. Again, 6-speed manual transmission, so we're working on some tilt and pedals. Kind of doing a lot of race car inspired stuff on this one. So we'll have those. We're doing an S1 sequential shifter, so we'll be able to just all back or all forward for shifting. Doing some rust repair. Everything underneath the hood's gonna be painted. Everything inside's gonna be painted. All new weather strip, glass, everything. All new upholstery, but on the outside it's gonna look like a rusty old bad apple is what he's calling it. So this one's gonna be cool, I think. And it's not a C10 this time. This is Mike's 77 C10. Basically all we're doing to this is an LS swap, but we don't do just a standard LS swap around here. What we've done is we put a brand new 430 horse Chevrolet crate engine in it from Chevrolet Performance. We've got a rebuilt 4L60 transmission in it, but we did radiator, intake, modern vintage wiring harness. We did a painless wiring harness from headlight to taillight, so the entire truck's rewired. We also replumbed everything on the truck, so the transmission cooler, the transmission itself, the fuel lines, even the brake lines, everything on it underneath the truck is brand new front to rear. He already had some of the interior done, but we still had to rip the dash out to wire it, so we put Dakota digital gauges in it, fixed little things like even some simple like the dome light. So we put new dome light switches in it, a new dome light bulb, and now that works. So everything on this truck works as it should, and he's got 430 horsepower now and 20 miles to the gallon, and it's sitting here waiting its turn to get to the dyno and get tuned, which is next Monday. We don't know what we're doing. It's pretty obvious, because we pulled the whole axle out of the front and redid all the angles on it. When we built the truck, what now, a year and a half ago or so, I didn't give it enough caster, didn't give it enough pinion angle, and those two things are kind of the major things. So everything on the axle had to be cut apart. We took it down to just the center section and the housing, cut the knuckles off, cut the leaf spring mounts off, cut the shock mounts off, cut the sway bar mounts off, cut the steering stabilizer bars off, everything came off. But now we have it all fixed. The axle's over at Frank's getting painted, converted the transfer case to a fixed front yoke, and we're changing out the exhaust because it was just too loud for me. So finally, after a year and a half of this thing being done, or a little over a year of it being done, maybe I'll get to drive it one day. So this is kind of our slow time of year, even though we have a bunch of projects around the shop. There's no deadlines right now. Nobody's beating on our door to have their truck done. So took a little time, finally fix this thing, get it back on the road, and get it good for the road. Sorry about the lack of content lately, but SEMA, Gitdown, holidays, birthdays, all the extra time we have around the shop anyway. But we are going to still continue to try to focus on bringing you guys some more stuff. Anything from just showing you what we got going on today, like we did, to doing some full build stuff, completed builds, actually showing us working on stuff. It'll be cool. We're just trying to bring you guys some cool videos. So stay tuned, subscribe if you want, watch the other videos if you want. We'll still be here doing them whether you subscribe or not. See you later. Hey, can we leave early today? Did I just spit out my mouth? God.